Hi there, and welcome to yet another Papetti Math YouTube video tutorial where I am going to be teaching you Algebra 1. And in this video specifically, we're going to be looking at our final exercise on modeling linear inequalities. And if you haven't watched exercises numbers 1, 2, and 3, or the other lessons in this chapter, I suggest you go back and watch those to become familiar with what we're doing in this exercise. So this problem says at the surf shop, board shorts cost $30 and t-shirts cost $20. If the surf shop wants to sell at least $400 worth of board shorts X, information, and t-shirts Y, set up and graph an inequality that shows all the possible combinations that would allow the shop to reach their goal. So let's go ahead right away and label our axes with the information they gave us. We have to use board shorts as our X values, it tells us to. And we have to use t-shirts as our Y values, it tells us to right there. Now, knowing this information, we could also set up an inequality because we know that board shorts cost $30 and t-shirts cost $20. So $30 per board short plus $20 per t-shirt, and the surf shop wants to sell at least $400. Now, don't be tricked by the words at least. It has that word least in there, but that's the very least that they want to make. They want to make at least $400. So that means this amount has to be greater than or equal to $400 because they actually want to make more than or equal to $400 if they want to make at least that much. Okay. It's like when you go to an amusement park and it says you must be at least this tall to ride the ride. So if you have to be at least this tall, you can't be shorter than that. It can't be less than. You have to be at least this tall or taller. Same thing with at least $400 worth here, greater than or equal to that amount. Now, we want to isolate y just like we did in the first three exercises, and we will subtract x, 30x, and we'll be left with 20y is greater than or equal to negative 30x plus 400. Now we're going to divide this entire inequality by 20 to isolate y, and we're going to have y is greater than or equal to, well, this will simplify over here, negative 30 divided by 20 to negative 3 over 2x, and 400 divided by 20 is 20, so we're going to have positive 20. So now again, we want to count and make sure that we have enough units to go up by, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We only have 15 units. So we have to scale our y-axis appropriately here to go up by enough where we'll reach 20. So we'll go up by 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and 20. So we have a y-intercept of 20. We're going to go down 3, right 2 units. And since we're only going right 2 units, we can easily scale our board shorts just by ones. Okay. And now we're going to go down 3 because it's negative 3, right 2. Down 3, right 2. Down 3, right 2. Those are all the points that fit in our quadrant, our coordinate grid for this one quadrant. And now we want to make the line that connects these points as a solid line, because in this case we have an equal to, which means we can include the points on this line. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to make that solid line that goes through these points. And we're not going to put arrows because, again, arrows would mean that we could have negative board shorts and negative t-shirts sold, which is not possible in this scenario. So our last step after we make the solid line is to shade where y is greater than that line. And y is greater than that line. Well, here's our y-intercept 20, and our y values greater than this line go up. So we're going to shade this graph up. We're going to shade upward to get all of these possible combinations. And you might say that that goes up forever, and it does, which makes sense in the problem because if they were to sell not only 8 board shorts and 20 t-shirts, they would definitely make their goal price. So that definitely means if they were to sell 10 board shorts and 1,000 t-shirts way up in the top of this graph, then they would definitely be making $400 if they sold 1,000 t-shirts. So all of these possible solutions will allow them to reach $400 worth of merchandise sold at least. Okay? And again, if we want to go up all the way to this line, you could see that they would have to sell at least 6 board shorts and 2 t-shirts to make that $400. Or they'd have to sell 4 board shorts and 8 t-shirts, or possibly 2 pairs of board shorts and 14 t-shirts. And if they did not sell any board shorts and they sold 20 t-shirts, they would still make at least $400. They'd make exactly $400, which is okay. But anything in this area would be not enough merchandise sold to reach their goal of $400. So we do not want to include any points that are in the unshaded area. Now we have finished modeling linear inequalities, and you are ready for chapter number 4. But before you go on to chapter 4, give this video a thumbs up if I helped you out in modeling linear inequalities. Thank you for watching.